Hey, Zach. You got me, Zach? Hey, Zach. Hey, I'm on Wi-Fi here. I'm on Wi-Fi here, so yeah. All right, so we're live now, right? I'll let you know when we're done. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Owens, Tournament Director for the Yamaha Right Waters Bassmaster Kayak Series. This is your awards for event number 3 of the 2024 season. We're hosted this weekend in Scottsboro, Alabama by the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce. As I've mentioned over the weekend, for those of y'all tuning in at home, we greatly appreciate you all doing that. This is the second year we've came to Guntersville, and the first year we had our attendance record at the time of 230 plus men and women, and this weekend we had 211. And those 211 men and women called up and submitted 2,275 fish, and that's just the fish that they uploaded. So we're going to do our tournament average on that, and I'm pretty sure that's a record for us, especially with a field this size, catching that many fish. So we appreciate everyone doing that. We had 32 states represented, I believe, and the numbers are pretty average across the board, 6, 7, 8. As far as New Hampshire and Maine, we had a guy from California fly out and borrow gear, had his luggage and everything lost. So hopefully he gets all of that back. But he made the best of his weekend and had a good time out here. So you all have seen the revamp, or not really revamp, but the invention and advent of a kind of a social media push for us. And I added some of you to a Dropbox. So I'll continue to do that throughout the season. And as you're home doing your normal fishing stuff, you're welcome to drop cool stuff in there, because we want to help market everything that we can across the community of our body of kayakers, because as I mentioned, you all choose to come and fish with us. There's a lot of other things you can do. Money is tight for everyone, just the way the world is nowadays, but we appreciate y'all making that commitment to us and that sacrifice too. Appreciate all the husbands and wives back home that let everybody hit the road and do what we do, especially my wife, Jordan. A lot of y'all got to meet her this weekend, and I couldn't do this, obviously, without that great support from her and the good Lord. But just want to just do a quick thank you prayer for our safety. And if you don't pray, that's okay. Just take a moment of silence. Father, we thank you humbly from our hearts for what we've been able to do this weekend as a body and a family of fishermen and women. We just thank you for all of our safety and the integrity that was displayed here. We ask that you be with everyone's body and their safe travels as they get back home. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. This weekend, anglers are pushing, for their piece of a $40,000 payout roughly, and you're also competing for your Angler of the Year points. That's the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year, which will award $5,000 to someone at the end of the season for their best 3 events. As I mentioned, we're here in Scottsboro, Alabama, hosted by the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce, and we've just had a really good time being a part of their community this week. There's a lot of good. We talk about it all the time. It seems like these road trips, it's the foods, it's the foodies that hit social media. It's like, where did you get to eat? What was great? And we got to be fortunate enough to hang out in our little Thursday voluntary meet and greet at Gino's Pizza and Wings out here. Had a local business come out and cook over 800 hot dogs for us at registration, along with the Tennessee Valley Authority coming out and just talking a little bit about what they do to keep the Tennessee River system flowing, keeping it good like it is for us. We've got a lot of good fishing rivers and lakes up and down it, and we thank them for that, and the boat ramps. Although I'm a man who had my truck set on fire on Lake Chickamauga, they do keep these boat ramps pretty safe. So I'm thankful for all they do, and that they came out and just showed an interest in what we do, because there's a lot of people just now learning what we get to do, and that's why it's important for you all to do what you do on social media. So this season, we're supported not only by our title sponsor, the Yamaha Right Waters Initiative, which is a clean water initiative, but with the renewed support of Motor Guide and Yak Gear, and we're hosted on the TourneyX management system, which in our opinion is the most user-friendly and dependable management system that we have. I'd like to go ahead and we'll just get down to what went and happened this weekend. On day one, we had 3 anglers tie for big bass, and then first thing this morning, Alex Miller stroked a big one, and then Paul Armbrust did the same, except for he had the tiebreaker to take home $500, we'd like to call Paul up real quick. You go, Paul. Let's tell everybody about your fish. Tell them how big it was, what you caught it on. And
22 and a half.
Yep. He had a 20 and a half tiebreaker, 20 and
21.
a quarter. Yeah.
21.
Okay. 20. You had 20 and a quarter tiebreaker, Russ. So
it was, I watched them coming out of deep water this morning up to the weed edges and just dropped a chatterbait down and was dragging that weed edge, and she just hammered it. And it was it's always a little bit scary when they come out of the water, especially a big fish like that. But she ended up in the net, so it was a beauty.
I'm always kind of grateful that they jump at least once, so I know it's not a stinking catfish. But after that, it's a gut wrencher.
Let's stay down now.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Paul. We'll sure see you back up here in just a little bit. Thank you. All right, before we get to 21st place, that's the last place money. We had a 5-way tie for 22nd, and I just want to announce that to all of those people that took part in that. We had Jim Davis from Tennessee, 177 and a quarter. Pennsylvania's Abby Abendanza had the same. Ohio's Drew Gregory had 177 and a quarter. Tennessee's Daniel Lyons had 177 and a quarter. And landing in 22nd, first out of the money, but the most points out of those 5 there is Florida's Dwayne Dwyer with 177 and a quarter. So congratulations to those that shook out the little tiebreaker. And for all of you at home, our tiebreaker comes from the next biggest bass submitted, or if it's a tie in the standings, it's your biggest bass. So appreciate Attorney X separating all that for us. So without further ado, I would like to call up over here to this side, Daniel Perry, Randall Wallace, Mark Edwards, Matthew Conant, Brandon Hewlett, and Casey Reed. Casey Reed went on home. We had another angler whose vehicle broke down, so Casey is helping him get back home. I believe they're both from Virginia, so we appreciate Casey, and we'll call his spot here in just a little bit. So taking home $527 with 177 and 3/4 inches, which actually tied Casey Reed, who's taking home $550, Randall Wallace. See, man. We'll let you talk about your weekend real quick. You know, it was hot. We're not ready for summer, I don't think. It ain't even summer, and I feel like I'm dying just pumping gas. So.
It's a good weekend. Caught them good yesterday. Had 92 inches, all on swim bait, and then I went total opposite today and just tried to find some new fish. I ended up catching about 70 fish today. I found every 14 and 15 incher in this lake.
But, I'm glad you didn't submit them all.
But it was good. I mean, caught a lot of fish. Probably caught 100 over the weekend, and just I had a fish clean. Just didn't get that bite.
Yeah. So. Well, that's just the way it shakes out in tournaments. At least you didn't go home skunking. Right. So yeah. You got anybody you want to thank back home and everything?
Yeah, I thank my wife and kids. Congratulations to my son. He graduated 2 days ago. So.
All right.
Now it's time to get him out of my house.
All right, man. You can pay him $527.
I'll give it to him if he'll leave.
I'll see you, brother. Good to see you, man. All right, as I mentioned, Casey Reed and Randall tied. Casey Reed won the tiebreaker to take home $550. In 19th place with 178 inches for the weekend and a whole bunch of 17-plus inchers that we had to go through painstakingly to look for duplicates, Daniel Perry. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that in of itself, not having 21s, 22s in the limit to be up here to cash a check on this body of water with arguably one of the most celebrated lineups we've had in a tournament. There was everybody that's been decorated across the country seemed to come out and fish this one, and we're grateful for that. But let you talk about your weekend and what it took to get you here.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some people, and they were really on them. I was really not on them. That they were no bigs. I caught a 19, a 18, and all the 17s. And it was just You know, they were on a brim bed or they were fry garters or just, I wasn't on the right fish, but I kind of milked it for everything I had. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, just be glad you didn't, leave fish to find fish like we
Yeah.
all screw up and do. But you stuck it out, and it rewarded you. So you got anybody you want to give thanks to? You got anybody at home supporting you?
Yeah, my wife and son, you and Jamie at the dugout, Z Pro Lithium. I make long, stupid runs, and I never have a concern about it. X Zone Lures and Untamed Tackle.
All right, really,
And you, thank you.
hey, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you making
Thanks,
it out.
man.
Thank you. Go Yanks. He's a big White Sox fan. You can't hate White Sox fans. They go through a lot, so we appreciate him making it. So, in 18th place, taking home $600 with 178.5 inches, Brandon Hewlett.
Thanks, sir.
Hey man, Brandon, we appreciate you driving up from Florida. Let you get into your weekend and thank anybody you need to.
That was a good weekend. I was in the same boat as Dan. I just never found a big bite. I spent my whole weekend throwing a frog and throwing a jackhammer up in lily pads, and I just never got the bites that I needed. Caught a bunch of fish. It was a great weekend. I appreciate you having us all out, and I want to say thanks to my wife and all my friends that come out here and hung out and road dogged it with us.
That's right, man. We appreciate you coming out. You got anything else on the docket?
That's
Is
it.
y'all season done down there in Florida?
No, we still got 2 events left, a championship, and then Georgia Bass Nation too. So
Yeah. And that's again, another way for you to make it into the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship is through your local Bass Nation. So reach out to us if you've got any questions there. But we appreciate you coming out.
thanks. Steve.
Thank you. In 17th place, taking home $625, 178 3/4 inches for the weekend, Mark Edwards. Mark, I'm glad to see you up here. I mean, obviously, I hate to bring it up, but I got to bring it up. I mean, you stroked them yesterday. You had 98 3/4, which was the weekend's largest limit. In a most respectful way, what happened? What happened to the fish from yesterday?
I got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got lucky yesterday or unlucky today?
Yesterday. I didn't have a real good practice. I really didn't catch no big fish in practice, just couple randoms. So I actually started in a community hole yesterday, hoping to get a limit early. And then, so I ended up losing a 20 yesterday morning. And I had 2 17s and a 15, and I left at 8 o'clock. And I moved to the other ramp where I practiced at, and I caught like 2 18s there. So that's the best fish I caught in practice, pretty much. So I moved there, and it was just unreal. There was a willow tree that come out into the current, the main river current.
Okay.
So in practice, I missed a fish there. So I threw a chatterbait up beside it and caught an 18 and a half. And so I threw a chatterbait a few more times. Then I threw a jig over there, and I catch a 21 3/4. And so I went on up the bank from that, and the next 30 minutes I catch a 20 and a half and a 19 1/4, and I'm tied for the lead in like probably 45 minutes after I've been there. So I kind of felt it was lucky, but
Well, I mean, you went hunting and you found
yeah.
it.
But I mean, today, I mean, I caught fish in the same area, but they were like 12 inchers and 13. So
By no means would I kick luck to the curb. I take luck every day I get out of bed if I can have it. But,
yeah, and the grass,
But
this
you
floating
worked.
eelgrass,
Yeah.
the floating eelgrass is a kind of issue
Yeah.
today. It come off the bank a little bit, and I couldn't fish that bank as well. And where I caught my last cull yesterday, I started there this morning, and I lost a couple fish that would have helped.
Yeah.
It's fishing.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I had a great time, and I appreciate everything you do, Steve.
Appreciate you guys.
And maybe one of these times it's gonna happen for me.
You gonna do it? You gonna come to Susky?
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I'm gonna finish out the season.
Maybe you'll get it up there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, man. Good to see you. Yep. All right, in 16th place, taking home $650 with 179 inches for his 2-day total. Adding on to a 93 3/4 inch limit yesterday was 85 3/4 today. Matthew Conant. Good to see you again, man.
Same here.
Appreciate you guys traveling around from Massachusetts up there. We'll let you just get into your weekend.
Caught a ton of fish.
Yeah.
Got here Sunday. Took me till Thursday to figure out where to find the bigger ones. I mean, getting 30, 40 fish a day, but a lot of 14s, 15s, 16s, and occasional 17. Then figured out a little bit of a deal on Thursday and picked a random creek that I thought a lot of people wouldn't go to, and I went and checked that deal out on Friday, and I put up 96 inches in a couple hours there. So I went there yesterday, and it was all 12s and 13s.
Yeah.
I picked up at
Because you got 96 inches of them on Friday,
right, and then I picked up there and went back to where I found them on Thursday at around 11, and I put up that 93
Oh, wow.
yesterday, and then I went back there today, and everybody at that ramp caught them but me. I just couldn't figure out a big bite.
Well, you got enough to get up here and get some good points to make it to the championship in Texas. So, and again, everybody, yes, I'm working on it every day, every other day. We're trying. It just takes a little time with these things, but we're going to get one, I promise. So I'll update that as the process goes. But I appreciate you. You got anybody you want to thank before you get home?
I just want to thank New Canoe, Crowdless, Custom Rods, Govell and Sons Construction, and all the friends and family back home rooting me on.
Appreciate you.
And
Matthew.
you, and Bassmasters in Scottsboro for allowing this all to happen.
Appreciate you, Matthew. Be
Thank
safe
you.
getting home. Thank you. All right, I'd like to call up over here to the side again Sierra B.A.S.S, Jimmy Talley, John Tibbins, Dave Luzay, and Ben Gorley. Got it. Yes. All right, this is 15th through 11th place, everybody, and we'll go ahead and award. In 15th place, taking home $675 from Alabama with a 91.5-inch limit today with 179.25 overall, Ben Gorley. Good job, man. Good seeing you up here. We'll let you, where are you from in Alabama?
Sardis, just up the road.
Okay. All right, man. You fish a local club here at all or any? Or you get...
Some, not much this year.
Yeah. All right, we'll let you get into your weekend, man.
I found a couple brim beds in practice, and I went and checked on them Thursday, and they were still there, and they were there Saturday morning. I caught my biggest fish there, and then they just didn't bite for a little bit, and I moved. I left fish to find fish.
Yeah.
And I went back and finished out my limit there, but today I never left that spot, so
Yeah.
I never moved.
What do you got? What worked for you?
I mostly a swim jig, and a little bit of a Senko and a frog early this morning.
Well, you got anybody you want to thank?
Godfrey's Maintenance and Southern Pipe for letting me have time off to go fish and practice. So, but that's about it. And I appreciate y'all, everything y'all have done. This has been really good. All
right, man. Well, if you need any information on where to get to the next or anything like that, just let us know. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
In 14th place, taking home $700 with 179.5 inches. He lost a tiebreaker with the next angler who had 21.75 inches, Jack Tibbins. See you back up here, man. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll let you just get into your weekend, and if you want to tell what it took to get it done, you can do that as well.
I caught all my fish pretty much on top water. I threw a spook all day yesterday, all morning. Got my fish in the first hour. Today took probably about 2 hours. My phone was dead by 11, so I pretty much just fished around randomly for the rest of the day.
Oh, wow. Well, you got anybody want to thank? Make the trip?
I want to thank, I'm going to fish them all.
Okay.
So I'll be at them all. But I want to thank Old Town Kayaks and Canoes. I want to thank Malone Trailers. I want to thank Slay Nation Tournaments.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you, man. We'll see you in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Closer.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. All right, in 13th place with that 21.75-inch tiebreaker fish, taking home $725, Sierra B.A.S.S. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. It's awesome. Yesterday, what is it? Less than 5 minutes or 5 minutes, you cracked that big one?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like early. I'm still sitting there hitting my snooze alarms and checking fish and then laying my head back down, and she's jacking them. So, wow. I'll just let you talk. I'm excited. I appreciate you. You guys travel a lot. You know, West Virginia always brings a crowd to every Bassmaster tournament. We appreciate that.
Thank you. this weekend I didn't really have a big bite. I caught one big one, a 20-incher during practice on a brim bed, and I had otherwise fished docks, but there was so much eelgrass in the docks that we went to this weekend that I didn't even fish those. I went to the brim beds yesterday and ended up getting that one like literally fifth cast maybe, but it had me buried so far in the grass. I don't know how I ended up getting it in because I thought I had a carp or something on the bottom, but ended up getting it in and ended up only catching like 8 fish yesterday, but thankfully I had some of the bigger bites yesterday. And then today went there, ended up catching 19 and a quarter, I think, or 19.75 this morning there. That's the only fish that I caught there. So then I just went up the grass edges and caught them with a Senko and a jig.
You did a fantastic job. It was just the leaderboard today, you know, you had 89 and a half yesterday and 90 today. So that's a phenomenal limit on any fishery in the country. But to be in this field, you had to have that. You did a great job at it. We appreciate you. You got anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yes, I want to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, first off, because, man, he blessed me this weekend. It was a fun day today, and I had a blast. I prayed all day, like, Lord, just let me get a check, because at Murray, I finished one out, and I just wanted that check. So it was nice. I want to thank my husband for always toting me around and taking me everywhere, and my aunt for watching the kids, and everybody in the house.
Yeah.
So it was a fun week.
We appreciate the both of you. You've been, you know, committed kayak anglers for a while. We appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Good to see you. For all of you back home, if you'll go over to the social media and look, or the Bassmaster website, there's a Bassmaster Her initiative highlighting our ladies in fishing, which is a phenomenal thing. We appreciate you all capitalizing on the opportunities provided to get out and spread the word like that, to grow the sport to a demographic that needs, you know, to have that kind of platform, because they deserve it. And obviously her taking a lot of y'all's money proves it. So we appreciate all of that back home. So in 12th place, taking home $750, had 91 and a quarter on day one, 88 and a quarter today for 179 and 3/4 inches from South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Jimmy Talley. Good to see you up here. Man.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I, we're from the same area. I'm from Marion County High School, which they call Jasper. And
yes, Jasper.
We call them Pittsburgh instead of Pittsburgh. So,
Pirates.
Yeah, but we fish grassroots stuff together. Jimmy's a great dude. It's wonderful to see. I'm friends with freaking all of you, but, you know, people that you're close to at home are really good to see up here. So just let you do your congratulations and talk about your weekend, man. I'm glad you got to make this one.
I'm glad I made it myself. Appreciate you guys, the Bassmasters, for coming out with this series. My day kind of started out weird today. I put my boat in the water, and the rope broke, and I'm the only one standing there. It kind of happened like me and Russ Snyder a couple of years ago down at Eufaula. Remember that? Yeah. So I'm standing in my underwear thinking, man, it's going to be cold. I don't really want to do this. And thank God somebody come down that road with a kayak. He went and got it for me.
Oh.
But I caught all my fish yesterday. I got a limit real quick on a buzz bait. And then from then on, I just picked a frog up, no electronics, no nothing, old school fishing, just like my daddy back there taught me to do when I was that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's on a frog. I did have one today that was, I'm going to say 8 or 9 pounds. Come straight out of the water, straight down on it. You know, I'm standing there waiting. You know, I was like a fat kid at Sonic on Friday night, knowing he's going to get him a milkshake. And I reared back on it, and I gave it about 3 cranks, and he's gone. That's really the only fish that I lost. Everything was, like I said, was on a frog. That's in an area about half the size of this room. If you got away from that, you wasn't gonna catch them.
Yeah.
So.
We got anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife for supporting me all the time. She's the reason I still kayak fish. There's a big story of that too. Falling out of a kayak one time, I was gonna quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. I want to thank the Bassmasters and everything. Thank Scottsboro for bringing us here, letting us fish. Hope we come back again.
That's it. We're going to work on it. Good to see you. In 11th place with 90 on day one, 90 and a half today, taking home $925, Dave Luze. Good job, man. Good to see you up here again. Yeah. All right, man, let you talk about where you're from, what you did, who you know, what you want to thank.
From just outside of Chicago. My brother's living in Florida now. We always well, we met up at Guntersville last year and
Yeah,
both
Chris,
cashed checks.
both of you cashed checks.
So that's how basically this week started, kind of just checking history because that was the first time I've been here last year. So that area was busy. I don't like fishing around too many people.
Right.
So it kind of scooted a little bit away from there and found something that we didn't realize was quite as good as it was. Back to don't leave fish to find fish.
Yeah.
You know, the more you pick an area apart, sometimes the more you realize what's really there.
Yeah.
So that was one of those cases, people coming in fishing it all day and leaving, and you know, they shouldn't have been leaving.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I had like 4 spots, just rotating them. Had some really, really big deep fish that somebody else had found, and the school was like really finicky. Had lost 2 huge ones yesterday, lost a big one this morning, but caught a 21 right after that, and then they'd shut down. And then it was just fishing shallow grass, brim beds, yeah, frog, Nico, Ned, toad. Just you rolled up on us when we were catching some fish. So he got some good pictures today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
Man, we appreciate you. Got anybody you want to thank
Yeah.
other than Chris?
I
Obviously,
got
it's great to be able to
wife,
travel
wife
with
and
family.
5 kids. They let me go out and do this, so I usually make 3 out of the 5, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, so them, you guys, of course, my brother for putting the heads together in practice. He took one for the team today. You know, he had 5 yesterday for 75 or something. He kind of just left me doing my thing and kind of stayed out of my way. So thank him for that.
All right, appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, we'll see you again.
Today, all I've heard is frog, frog, frog. And when I first got into kayak fishing, I was told, don't bet a tournament on a frog, so I don't throw it. I think I was lied to from the founding fathers of everybody I got to fish with back in the day. So, golly. All right, we'll call up the top 10 here in random order. We got Jeremy Meadows, Mike Bruning, Mike Fink, Barry Davis, Russ Snyders, Garrett Wade, Eric Siddiqui, Ryan Nye, Buddy Vance, Paul Armbruster. Y'all all scooch in around there. Mark's wanting to get a little group shot there. All right, we had a tie for 9th place. So losing that tiebreaker with 88 on day 1, 93 1/4 on day 2 for 181 1/4 today. Mike Bruning taking home $1,300. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Mike, I'll let you tell everybody where you're from and how your weekend went.
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. My practice really didn't go well at all. Just trouble after trouble, couldn't find fish. Heard find bluegills, found bluegills, didn't find fish. Caught a few good fish in one spot and decided to go back there on Saturday, the first day, and things just came together, and I found a set of lily pads that was probably, I'd say, 1,000 yards long that just held a bunch of fish and upgraded fish throughout the day. And then today I went there and I stayed away from it because I saw a bunch of bass boaters over there, and when they left, I went over and I discovered they were fishing a grass line instead of the bed of the lilies, and I went in there and fished as clean as I could and probably lost a PB that straightened one of my hooks, but otherwise just thrilled to be here.
All right, man. We appreciate you, man. You got anything else on your schedule?
I may do Susquehanna, and then there's a bunch of local clubs back home in Cincinnati that I'll do.
All right, man. Hopefully we'll get to see you up there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, in 9th place, winner of that tiebreaker with 181 1/4. You had 87 3/4 yesterday, 93 1/2 today. Taking on $1,400, Russ Snyders. Good job, man. It's like we're just travel partners or something. Everywhere I go, you get to hand you something, but we appreciate you coming out. I'll just let you talk about your weekend and give thanks to whoever.
Yeah, had a great weekend. Spent both days tournament fishing, Main River, brim beds, kind of junk fishing. Got a few on frogs, swim jigs, chatterbait, brush hog, whopper plopper, just a little, little everything. But I had a fun time. Caught quite a few fish. Like I said, you had to really weed through some of those smaller ones to get those bigger bites. But yeah, I had a fun time. I did leave my catch board. I took off right at, was it 4:45, and it's a half hour to get to my spot, and I get all the way out there this morning, and I realized I left my catch board in the truck. So yeah, I lost an hour fishing this morning, but yeah, still didn't get still in a good mood today and had fun. And yeah, definitely want to thank you, Steve-O, Bassmaster, City of Scottsboro, and all my sponsors.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right, in 8th place with 93.5 inches yesterday, 182 3/4 for the week end. Taking on $1,500, Jeremy Meadows. Good to see you, my
Good
friend.
seeing you.
All right, man. We'll let you talk about your weekend and what it took to get you here.
Well, I found a creek mouth that had a bunch of 18 and 19s in it, and I fished a big roadbed hump out there, just threw a chatterbait pretty much the whole time, caught every fish on a chatterbait except for maybe 2. Somebody once told me, put a chatterbait in your hand and sling it all day and good things happen. So that's what I did. Yesterday I caught my biggest fish. I fouled the blade up on a piece of grass, and I was reeling in to make another cast, and I looked down and there's a big shadow behind it. And so I immediately just dropped the rod tip and let that thing fall, and I seen her turn on it, and I counted like to 2 and just laid into her, and it was that 21 1/4 inch, and she pulled a 20, 30 foot of drag, come up and shook her head, and luckily I landed her, and I probably lost about 4 more that would probably have helped me place a little further up, but it was a great weekend.
Yeah. Man, we appreciate you coming out. Got anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yeah, I want to thank the Dugout Bait and Tackle. They're, probably the best kayak shop, in the Southeast, and keep an eye out. They got a Dugout exclusive product here coming up soon that should be dropping.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you, man. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, in 7th place with 183 1/4 for the weekend. He had 94.5 today to do it. Taking home $1,600 in 7th place, Buddy Vance. Good to see you, man. Good to see you again. Appreciate y'all. Well, we'll let you just get into your weekend and all your things.
I had a good pre-fishing. Tried 3 different spots. Caught a lot of fish. Laying in bed Friday night, decided where I was going to fish. It was late, and ended up fishing Main River. And about 100 yards off the Main River was a duck blind, and that's about where every one of the big fish come from. Right off that duck blind, it just kept replenishing, and caught them all on a Cinco, believe it or not. So, wow. And it still caught a lot of fish on the Main River on a crankbait. All the big fish come right off that duck blind. And I actually lost 2 big ones yesterday, and then lost another big one today. And so I'm just thankful to be here.
Oh yeah, you were part of that 5 million fish that was caught this weekend. We appreciate you guys making the drive again. Got anybody you want to give thanks to?
I want to thank Z-Pro lithium batteries. Thank my wife for supporting me and always being there for me, and everybody at the house we stay with, and that's about it.
Oh man, we appreciate you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, in 6th place, taking home $1,700. Had 94.5 inches today. Winner of the event's overall Big Bass as well. 184 inches for the weekend, Paul Armbruster. Good to see you back up here, friend.
Thank you.
Paul, I'll let you just tell a little bit about yourself. Paul's fortunate enough to retire and move down to the Southeast here. Doesn't live far up the road from me on Chickamauga, so I've gotten to know him a little bit. Fishes Tennessee Bass Nation with us. So let you just talk about what brought you down to this area.
Bass fishing. Yeah,
that's right.
No, so I've only lived in Tennessee since September of last year, and this is the first time I've ever fished Guntersville, and I decided last weekend that I might as well go try it, and so I practiced Thursday, and found fish. And then Friday, I went to a different ramp and found fish. And so I was really up in the air as to where I was going to go. But everything I caught was on grass edges on the main river. Anywhere from 8 to 2 feet, but all of it had deep water next to it.
Okay.
And man, when they moved up, they moved up. But both days I just could not get rid of a couple of little fish. And then today, I had a really good limit, but I jumped off at 21 probably right after I caught the big one. And but that's bass fishing. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But I really want to thank Bassmaster and you, Steve, for putting this together, because that was just a ton of fun.
So you got your digit taped up there. Is that from you're
Yeah.
cranking and lipping all
Yeah.
weekend? That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Paul, we appreciate you being a part of the community. And got anybody you want to thank?
Well, you guys,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
just did. Yeah,
And
kinda.
I'm not sponsored by Dugout, but man, they put together a heck of a kayak. So my Hobie is it's perfect. So
You're putting it in about every body of water you can find. So we
That's
appreciate
right.
you coming back.
You bet.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right, in fifth place, taking home $1,950 with 184.5 this weekend, Mike Fink. See you up here, my man.
Good seeing
Part
you,
of this
buddy.
Ohio invasion. Todd Patrick back home. He's been rooting for you guys
Blowing everybody
all,
up,
all weekend. So we appreciate you at home, Todd, doing everything. But let you have the floor, man. Talk about your weekend.
I decided I was gonna shoot down here. I've been wanting to fish it. A couple things going left or right. Nothing went right, so my motor went down, my Garmin went out, so I just took it back old school and went out, pedaled all the way through the thickest grass I've ever pedaled through in my life. Killed myself, but it was well worth it. I found a spot that was maybe 100 yards, but there was 3 key things in that. Well, yesterday it was great because I had all the eelgrass and everything was sitting on top of it, so I was able to punch through it and swing around it. Well, today I went back, and with the storms yesterday, it blew my spot, kind of all my grass off the top. So it was guess game of where they were going to be at, and I found the 3 trees, just 3 tree branches and a Senko, and just absolutely wore them out. It was a slow start today, but it was a great start, or good finish.
We appreciate you. It's amazing what we put ourselves through just to fish.
Oh, it was
physically,
grueling.
sunburned,
But
starving.
it was well worth it.
Don't take time to eat a sandwich, but
No.
we'll retie or put the stinky baits all over you. So, but we appreciate you coming all the way down and making the trip with the crew. And you got anything else you got on the docket this year?
Oh yeah, I'll see you at Susky, and then I'll be down at headed down to Louisiana too. So
You're going to the championship too next year. Congratulations.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
That was the biggest goal right there.
You did it, man. We appreciate you so much. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to thank my wife back home, my biggest cheerleader in the world. Always keeping me tame and keeping me calm, and all my friends and my family that reached out and cheered me on. So now it's a long drive back home.
Good luck. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Sorry, guys, I had a little computer hiccup here. All right, in fourth place, taking home a dirty check, $2,325. The man wore them out on day one with 97 3/4. and scratched out 88 and a quarter today for 186 inches overall. Garrett Wade. See you, man.
Two.
All right, man. Let you get into, everything. You got a lot.
Yeah,
happened this weekend.
yeah, a
for
lot
you.
did happen this weekend. Before I do, before I do anything, I'm gonna thank God for this one. My practice was pretty so-so. I was bad mouthing Guntersville.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no big fish in this lake. I think I had an 18 in practice. My anniversary was Wednesday, so I didn't get to come up till Thursday. But I caught like 2 17s in practice, and everything else was small. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I had one little shoal that I felt like would be pretty decent. I caught 117 on a Chad shad out there, and went there yesterday morning, and there was no eelgrass floating, which was pretty wild. And I was able to throw my little sexy dog, and by 6:50, I'd put up the entire 97 and 75. Missed a couple. I think I missed probably one that would have helped yesterday. It probably would have got me close to that 100 inches. But then I went out there today, and the eelgrass had floated in, so I had to change lures, and they weren't hitting it quite as well. There was actually a shad spawn in the eelgrass floating out on the main river channel, and probably had 10 fish knock my bait cleared out of the water. And when I left that spot this morning, I had 3 12-inchers in my limit. And I just went frog fishing the rest of the day and culled all 3 of those with 18s. So I didn't quite get a blue trophy, but close enough.
Close enough, man. You get to go to the championship too. So you got
Yeah.
anything else on the schedule?
Yeah, I got a couple more, I think. Definitely going to Caddo.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. Got anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yeah. So my wife and kids back home, dugout. I've got quite a few sponsors. I'm not going to name them all because I'm going to forget some of them. But I'll make a Facebook post, so we'll take care of it that way.
Appreciate you coming out, Garrett. Thank you very much. All right, in third place, taking home $3,480, beating Garrett out by 3/4 of an inch. He had 92 on day 1, 94 3/4 on day 2. Ryan Nye. Good luck figuring all this out. This is as much skill as it is fishing. It's how to hold all this up for picture. Appreciate you, Ryan. You'll let you talk about your weekend and give your thanks.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I actually was complaining that I haven't had a good practice in a long time at Possum Kingdom, and then I came here and I had a really good practice and found some fish, just no big ones, but I found an area that I thought had a lot of fish in it, and I didn't know exactly what was there, but by the people that were standing up there that were fishing at the same ramp as me, apparently there was a lot more than I thought. But I caught them all on a bladed jig. I throw a Martin's Custom Baits bladed jig and caught a bunch of fish on that, and a wake bait in the morning.
We got anything else you're going to try to tackle the rest of the year now that you've already qualified? Are you still going to stick it out and go after some Angler of the Year points and some more money?
Yeah, I'll be at all 5 of them, so I'll do the other 2 and fill in some Hobie events when I can. I think they're going up to New York in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so
Cayuga's in a couple of weeks.
We'll be at that one.
Registration's still open. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, there's plenty more to fish.
Absolutely. We've got a whole host of things to fish across the fishing community. So by all means, be able to try and support everything that you can, local and where travel where you can, like he said. So you got anybody you want to thank, man?
Yeah, I just got to thank Old Town and Black Hall Outfitters, Malone Trailers, Bassmaster. You guys have been doing a great job this year, and it's fun to fish these. And my wife, family, friends, everybody that's texted me, it's really cool, and it's it's good to hear from all those people. So,
All right, we'll see you in Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unless I can make time. All right, in second place, taking home $5,100. Both of these anglers already have blue trophies by their own rights. But the man had 90 1/4 yesterday and 96 3/4 today for 187 from South Carolina, Barry Davis. Barry, it's always good to see you. Barry fishes everything. Everything. He fishes all the tournaments, I think. All the tournaments. Got to have the best wife in the world next to mine. So
Oh, yeah.
we appreciate you coming out, Barry. And I'll just let you talk about your weekend. And you had a really good animated story about your day today. So I'll just let you get into it, man. I appreciate all that you do to support us at Bassmaster.
We me and Terry Elkins have practiced together all week. We hang together most of the time anyway. He's from Kentucky, I'm from South Carolina, but somehow we got locked in together where we're always with each other. But we had a decent practice. It wasn't great, but a decent practice. We found fish. Transferred over a few things that we found on the last day that paid off. It didn't work yesterday morning for me, so I left it and I ran an egg beater across the grass. If you don't know what that is, that's a V-twin buzz bait. But I run an egg beater all day long yesterday to where I hurt so bad I couldn't hardly move my arms last night. And what I didn't catch on that, I caught on a jig. And today we went back to that hole and started, and a 13 3/4 saved my day because I caught it in the first few minutes. And I said, okay, Terry, I'm staying here all day. I hate staying in one place all day, but I'm staying here all day. I'm going to lock in on it. And if any of you know me, I'm not an offshore guy. I stayed in 12, 13 foot of water all day long, locked in offshore, dropped 2 buoys so I could tell where I was at, where I could watch live scope, not have to worry about watching a map. And it looks like, if you see the picture I got on my phone of my map, it looks like a plate of spaghetti where I just kept circling back and forth, back and forth. And the early morning paid off really well. And I lost one. I lost a big one yesterday. I lost one today that would have really paid off a little better, but that's part of it. And throw the jig in the grass today. Throw the buzz bait for a little bit, but jig was a magic tool today. It done its thing.
Any particular jig?
5 bass tackle with a 5 bass tackle crawl on the back of it.
Is it swim jig, football?
Nah, it was football head.
Okay.
Well, I had a swim jig I threw a few times, but the football head done most of the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it they liked it. They liked the color I had.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
It works great, man. You think you're gonna be able to make Susky?
Susky's magic, man.
That's it. I like it.
I'm
A
gonna
man
try
that already
Caddo also.
qualifies and still gonna beat the roads with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah. That's
Anybody
it.
you want to give thanks to?
Jesus Christ first. Oh, I told Terry today, I said, I bet you feel like you've been to church. Because I kept saying, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord. And
So God, I need another one. Come on, let me get a cull. And he said, I believe I've been to Sunday school and all today. But, you know, I made him feel a little better, I hope, anyway. But we had a fun day. And but I thank God, my wife, if y'all knew what we've been through the last few months, holy cow, I got a woman that just amazing. Bass Pro Shops, Bonafide, 5 bass tackle, ALX rods, Dakota Lithium, and there's more. And I'll do like I told them a while ago, Facebook, and get a hold of everybody. But thank everybody. Thank y'all.
All right, man. We appreciate all you do for all of us. Thank you. All right, in first place, taking home $11,500 with 96 1/4 yesterday, 93 1/4 today, 189 1/2. Bassmaster Kayak Series champion Eric Sedin. All right, man. We'll let you talk about your week, your weekend. When did you get down? How much practice did you get?
I had a lot to say, but man, it was a long week. I started off, I went down to dugout and decided I was tired of getting beat by people who had Garmin Live Scope, and they set me up and spent all day there Monday. Stayed at Christine Fisher's house on Monday night and started driving to Guntersville on Tuesday, and truck started making a noise, so I stopped in Chattanooga and found out I needed a new lifter and camshaft and everything, and so I just decided I was gonna probably buy a Tundra, and I'll probably be picking that up tomorrow. And they tried to talk me out of it over there at Chevy in Chattanooga, but I was like, they're like, you like the Silverado, right? And I was like, yeah, it's in your shop right now. Just go get it. So I was like, can I drive it? They said, yeah. So I drove it here, just crossed my fingers it'd make it through the week. Got some pre-fishing in and had 2 spots. One was a shallow spot. The other one was deep ledge fishing stuff, and I love the ledge fishing. And I decided I've been playing on Nintendo for too long, and I was gonna go play on some PS5 and get out there and see if I could catch them. So sat on a point, a grass point, dropped off from 15 to 20, and in the morning I had a ton of white bass just schooling on it, busting bait. There was some bass mixed in, but yeah, I ended up catching an 18.25 inch spot on day one out of them, and caught a 20.25, I think it was, morning of the first day out of those fish, and then kind of died off and I had to grind it out. I caught 6 fish, and then 6 fish again today. Lost a giant at the boat that I was sure was going to cost me the tournament around 10, and didn't get another bite for about 3 hours, and just kept grinding it out. I had in practice, when I found it, I realized it was a community hole because boats kept pulling up on it. There were times when there was 6 boats behind me or around me, and there was a hump in a 30-foot that came about 28, and I decided when I had all those boats around me, I was going to go check that. And I caught a 6-pounder off it in practice, so I went out there yesterday and I caught a couple 20s off of it, and yesterday evening, and then today did about the same thing. Once that sun got up and those fish, up on the ledge weren't biting, I went over to that and caught a 22.25 around noon. That was my 5th fish, and then I had about a football field size patch of eelgrass roll through on top of the spot, and I was like, well, this is the only place I'm getting bit, so I'm gonna just sit here and wait it out and see if I could make another cast at it. And the wind was blowing, so I could see kind of some ripple on the water, looked like a little channel, and I just waited for it to come over the spot, made a cast, and caught a 20 with about 25 minutes to go, and culled out a 14.75.
Oh wow, that's some attention to detail right there.
Yep.
Well, man, we
So that's
appreciate.
about it.
I mean, obviously you made a huge commitment to the series, and as I mentioned, the champion to be celebrated. You were up here last time we were here. You've been up here countless times in other series and everything. We appreciate what you do, and all the vehicles you wear out. Since I've met you, I think this will be your 4th truck.
Yeah.
I think so. We appreciate all that
Yep.
that you do. But you got anybody you want to give thanks to?
Yeah, I want to thank my biggest fans, my boys back home. They let me come fishing. They share me with my love for fishing. Got to thank Doug. I told Jamie I would give him a shout out, so I got to thank Doug out for hooking up my kayak. It's pretty awesome. And Fishing Online for giving me the kayak and for always supporting me all this time. Dakota Lithium has been amazing. It would have been hard over the years to do this without their support. So a lot of great sponsors. So that's.
You think you can make Susky and Caddo?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, we got some more AOY stuff going down, folks. Stay tuned when we get that ironed out this week. Obviously we got Dakota Lithium does a lot for our sport, but being our Angler of the Year sponsor means a lot to all of us, and we appreciate that commitment they make, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Steve-O, and thank Bassmaster for everything. Obviously, I've had some success in Bassmaster, and I really appreciate everything you do. You guys
appreciate
do
you,
a great job.
You deserve it, man. You work hard.
Thank you.
You really do. Appreciate you.
Thank
One
you.
of the most cerebral and hardest working practice people I've ever known. So you do a really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, brother. All right, everybody, that wraps up our 3rd event of the season. We've just had a really good weekend. We appreciate the anglers helping one another out with mechanical stuff that they needed, lodging, places to stay, help on the water. Our next event, as we've mentioned, will be July 27th and 28th in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania on the Susquehanna River. You can go to the Bassmaster webpage and pull up all the information that you're going to need for the series, or reach out to myself. I'd again like to extend a huge heartfelt thank you to the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce in Scottsboro, Alabama. Mr. Larry here at the Scottsboro Civic Center is always top shelf in everything he does for us. We've been a blessed part of this community this week. So from Bassmaster and all of our anglers, we want to say thank you. And we've got our 3rd event down for the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year race, as I mentioned. Big thank you to Motor Guide, Yak Gear, Tourney X for being here, and the management system we can depend on. So God bless you all. Safe travels getting home. And for all of y'all that cast a check, please stick around with Mark to get some photographs, and we'll get your information to get you guys paid on Wednesday. So everybody be safe, and thank y'all at home for tuning in.